All right, hello, Sooner Nation. Jumping on a little bit later. I had a full-fledged Christmas fun all day, putting Christmas trees, putting Christmas lights. So if you hear some sniffling from me, I have just came in from outside, putting indoor or outdoor lights up. So
Congratulations on that. With my
it's
voice,
exciting.
if my voice seems bad, it's because I was in the Arctic tundra. That was Gaylord Family Local Memorial Stadium yesterday, but no place I'd rather be. And do want to apologize right off the bat. I know I had some audio issues last week, but we are back at the Casa de la Gasa tonight. Goss is back off the road, so we're back. The sound is back, and the Sooners are back in the playoffs.
Absolutely, and also too want to give you props on your comment about your audio. You said your audio was OU offense worthy.
Yes, but my content was OU defense. So, yeah,
yes,
I did get quite a few likes on the tweet. So, if you're not following Jeremy and I on Twitter, please go ahead and do that. There's no monetary reasons for that, but it will, just increase our egos. So.
It enhances our ego. That's all we care about.
Yeah, that's it. Because we know
our wives. Yeah. But let's get right into it. OU, I don't care what anybody says, makes the playoffs. I think it's hilarious that now everybody's like, do they deserve to be in? Yes, they do. 10-2, wins at Tennessee, wins at Alabama, red November. We took care of business. It didn't seem like it for a lot of the game yesterday.
I mean, we heard all year long, and Jeremy and I told you that it probably wouldn't happen, that this team would get in at 9-3 because of the schedule that we were playing. And we didn't go 9-3. We went 10-2. And yes, we are going to be in. And sorry to Chris Felica, whatever, the Bear, came after us on Twitter. A couple of things there. Number one, the answer to all your questions is money. Okay. Who does he work for? Fox. Does Fox have anything to do with the SEC? No. Where's he a graduate from? Miami. Okay. Who needs all the help they can get to get into the college football playoff? Miami. So once again, people are doing that. The guy from the Cover 3 pod who came out and said it, Fernelli or whoever that was, that got body bagged by Jim Nagy, who gave him the "get the F out of here" comment. That guy already came back on his pod today. It's like, I was just joking, Sooner fans. Please don't come after me. So we're not joking. We're in. Master lock it down. Now, I'm open to a conversation on whether we host a game or not. I think that's a relevant conversation. But the fact that we're in is not a relevant conversation. Those aren't serious people who are telling you. I mean, Danny Cannell is not a serious person. Okay, no. Don't follow Danny Cannell.
And don't think that half the stuff that he puts on there is for clicks. I mean, most of these people, that's what they're doing it for, is clicks. So it is what it is. Just, hey, I do it on TikTok. Sometimes I make videos because I will put stuff that is so outlandish about OU to get other schools to comment on there. And I'll get comments like crazy. I mean, crap, I had a 2.7 million viewed TikTok because of just crap that I put on. And you think that I don't do some of that crap just to get views? Absolutely. I'm not stupid, but that's what some of these guys do. It's their job to get as many clicks as you can.
It's engagement farming, guys. That's all it is. It's engagement farming.
And everything is forming kind of how, there's not going to be a whole lot of questions on who's going to make it. Yeah, 11, 12 here and there.
I mean, okay.
I want to see Duke win it. There, I said it. I want to see Duke win the ACC. I mean,
to me, it's pretty simple. Okay, there hasn't been much change. It's the very first one. I think the changes are that if Virginia wins, they slot in to that 11 spot. Bang, bang, boom. That's what it kind of is. Okay. But we're just going to assume Virginia beats Duke. Okay. But the only way that things change is if BYU wins the Big 12, BYU is going to make it, and Texas Tech's going to make it. And so that would knock, assuming in this scenario, Alabama loses, could knock Alabama out. Okay. If Alabama wins the SEC, Alabama will jump us in the rankings because they are the SEC champ, which would slot us down. Now, if both of those things happen, then we go from the 8 to the 10. Okay. But if neither of those things happen, I think we stay at 8. If one of those things happen, we go to 9. So it's going to be, we're hosting Notre Dame. There's no way Notre Dame should jump us, guys. There's no metrics out there that say that should happen. There's nothing that, winning at Stanford is going to do. If you looked at the AP poll and the coaches poll, there wasn't any change there. So I really, really don't anticipate any change with that. But I really just think that's really, you're looking at the only movement. I think we're either going to be hosting Notre Dame. There's a chance that we could go on the road to Oregon. There's a chance we could go on the road to even Texas Tech. I do think because of how things have went out, at one point I thought we might go back to Alabama. I don't think that's going to happen at this point, but I think it's one of those three opponents. I think it's either Notre Dame, it's Texas Tech, or it's Oregon. Maybe BYU, if BYU would go ahead and outright win the Big 12.
I would welcome a Texas Tech visit.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Now, bad things have happened in Lubbock. So.
Yeah. And like Brent said, do I want a home game 100%? But I just want to be invited to the tournament. That's the main thing. And our invitation is sent. It's just, where do we RSVP to is what's the question.
And, next week we'll jump into a lot of scenarios and stuff like that. Obviously, going forward to the playoffs, we'll have one podcast a week, but we got a lot of time to start talking about what if this, what if that. But let's get into the game 100%. Yesterday. Offense, I've had a lot of opinions. I mean, it's kind of gone back and forth. John Mateer, is it Arbuckle? I think Brent basically solved all of my questions in his press conference. He says, we have to stop giving our offense multiple reads. Like, too much RPO, too many, like, go here or here or here. It almost needs to be here or here, because John Mateer has absolutely zero confidence. You can watch him play the game. You can watch his throws. He is praying to God he makes a completion. When he makes a tough throw, he's thinking it's going to get intercepted. And he literally said, I've dealt with this since I was a young kid, that confidence issues and you can tell he just got these good things to happen. And I think we just got to dumb it down. I mean, we're making it too tough on ourselves, and it's ugly.
I just don't have anything negative to really say about Arbuckle yesterday. There were people open pretty much all game. We schemed people open, which is something that we've complained about not happening. We schemed people open. Thought it was nice to see Giovanni Gibson even get open a couple of times. Canick, Caden Helms. We had different people just be open. We actually had a Deion Burke sighting. All that being said, were there some play calls that I thought were stupid, like the fourth down run to give it to Xavier Robinson, who was obviously a shell of himself yesterday? I thought was a really, really poor call. And I agree with Jeremy. Like, I don't think Mateer is one of those guys who can think and play. I think he's a backyard player who just needs to just more go react and make plays, and that's who he is. And the nice part about John Mateer is John Mateer kept LSU in the game, had us a chance to lose it because he threw in 3 interceptions. But he's also the guy who busted his butt and made tackles on 2 of the 3 of those interceptions too.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. I said yesterday, is it time to think about Hawkins and all that stuff? And I said that out loud, but obviously in hindsight's always 20/20. It was the right thing to stick with Mateer. The team believes in him. Mm-hmm. And this team is built on 2 things, their defense and their culture. And John is really good for our culture. He is. He's a good leader. Wish he was a better quarterback, but he's a good leader.
Yeah. And don't you think too, it's like we're sitting there 9-2. He's quarterbacked us all but one game. And do you remember last year when we benched Jackson Arnold? And what did we say when that happened? There's no going back now. We can't do that the last game of the season on a team that's fighting to get into the playoffs. Because you take John Mateer out in that situation, then he's done. I mean, you think he's going to be confident going into the playoffs? Hell no. So, Brent had to stick with John Mateer. And, he even said it. He's like, we believe in John Mateer. We believe in what he can do. Guys, it's not going to be pretty. That's not what type. And the thing is,
we threw for 318 yards yesterday, Jeremy. It's the most offense we've had since Temple. okay, as far as yardage.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want to go down the thing of, we get told the last few weeks that, and Missouri outgaining us was absolute crap. It's just kind of conservatism there at the end. But you go back to the Tennessee and the Alabama games, and everyone wants to talk about us being outgained, and we shouldn't have won that way. And the only reason we won was because of turnover luck. Well, yesterday we had -2 on turnovers, and we outgained them, but we still found a way to win. And winners win, losers lose. We found a way to win. That's what winners do.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not going to be pretty. I mean, don't expect, and you can look at our predictions for the game. We keep thinking this offense is going to explode, but LSU went to good game plan. They basically, there were times where it's 3rd and long, and they just run it just to punt because they don't want to give our defense an opportunity to make a big play and give our offense a short field, because it came to a point where if OU scored another touchdown, the game was over. LSU was not going to. So you're trying to we want to move the ball, but also too, we don't want to put the ball in the air and put it in. Look at Peyton Bowen's interception. That first quarter.
Not to just be sour grapes guy. Just an unbelievable play by Peyton Bowen. But again, we have to give some credit to Mateer, who did hustle his butt and make the tackle. And I told Reed and Darren, that's two people that were beside me yesterday. I told both of them, I said, that was hopefully that was a 4-point, that was a 4-point tackle. It ended up being a 7-point tackle.
Yeah.
But there's things too that we just talk about this team and being close and being right there and needing some breaks and that sort of thing. Just think about some of the penalties that went against us yesterday or didn't come out for us. I thought PJ's roughing the passer, and you were watching it on TV. Maybe there was something different that you could see there, but in stadium, I thought that was probably one of the absolute worst calls I've ever seen in my life. I really did. And then, to couple that with a no call when I believe it was Burks just gets absolutely murdered before the ball gets there on the sideline right in front. And and you can say, well, whatever, but that's 30 yards of field position, because I haven't seen all the stats, but yesterday was the first game we've played probably since the Texas game where I felt like we did not win field position. I felt like we got our punter, and Miller wasn't bad. He still had some good punts, but it wasn't his best day. LSU just kind of played our game plan of trying to make them go 80, 85 yards. And LSU has a good defense. I know Gabe and Teddy, especially Gabe, kind of downplayed Harold Perkins before the game, but man, he was really, really good yesterday. I thought he was one of the best players on the field. I really did. But that being said, winning a different way, this was, maybe this was just one of those games that, you win different, and it shows you can win different. And you can say win different. Gosh, we won, we scored 17 points. But this was a game that was just odd in the fact of we were close to blowing this thing open, and we couldn't. But it felt like it was a different close to blowing it open, because I really just felt like it was John missing some passes. I really did. Thought the line blocked pretty well, considering the first game all year, we've just played 5 offensive linemen. I guess that's what happens when you have 6 of them that are on the disabled list. But certainly got some continuity there. I thought Wee-Woo had some snaps that weren't great and probably threw the rhythm off a little bit, but we didn't have any fumbles with that. Thought Torrey Blaylock, that's the healthiest he's looked. I would say in a long time, most snaps he's played in a long time. So those are just some thoughts that I have that I haven't heard just expounded on a lot. What are just some thoughts you have, Jeremy, that maybe you haven't heard as much thrown out there?
PJ's roughing the passer, even the rules guy came on the TV and said that was a horrible call.
Okay,
I don't understand on that call. Like when you're getting a film room, Kevin, one of my friends who is a football coach, I go, when you go in the film room, what do you tell a kid on that play? And he goes, other than just saying, just tap him under, I really don't know what else to do. He's like, you're going full speed at a guy and he throws it and we hit him. Then the rules guy even said, they can say putting your weight driving your weight into him, but he let up. So he goes, I really don't know what they saw there. That was a horrible call. I mean, so
what did they say on the pass interference call that was talking about?
Same deal.
Okay.
Same deal that was pass interference. He got there early, and the other thing was he didn't even turn around to find the ball. So there, and like Giovanni Gibson play. It's good to see him show up. Missed that big. He dropped that big drop.
Big, yeah.
I mean, that puts us maybe in a chance to get another first down. Moves the sticks. Little things like that, though, and that goes back to the confidence thing with John Mateer. When you got receivers that drops a couple passes too, it doesn't help your quarterback's moxie because, it's just negative things that happen, especially in your offense, and it can snowball for you. I mean, Jackson Arnold went through it last year. We say what we want about Jackson Arnold, but it's the same deal. The only difference is we're finding ways to win this year.
Quick aside on Jackson Arnold, because I'll throw some more dirt on Auburn here. We probably all watched the Iron Bowl last night, and you Freeze deserve to be fired when Jackson Arnold is clearly the third best quarterback that was at Auburn.
Yeah.
Because the freshman kid was lights out the week before, and then they played the other transfer kid yesterday. And I mean, good grief, there's just nothing close. And it's just I sent a text out to our friends groups like, no one knows how to lose in the end quite like Auburn. And I think it was Nathan who replied, Arkansas would like to have a word with you as well. So, shout out to we've got quite a few friends who are Arkansas fans. So sorry about that, guys. Maybe y'all can be excited for the Memphis guy.
Yeah.
Don't know. But
hey, and also too, tough break for Cam Coleman. Guy's a hell of a player. He probably can't come back from that. He probably needs to transfer again. Norman's looking for some good receivers.
We've got a lot of great, my wife included, mental health professionals here in Oklahoma. So if that's something you need, Cam, we will gladly take you here at the University of Oklahoma. And,
I think it's trying. New scenery always helps. And I'm sure we can find some money and scrounge some money up. Maybe get you here. If you would like that.
Speaking of money that's getting freed up, how about the dichotomy of Jaden Knott, because he knows nobody likes him, and maybe he's just too lazy to go out there, did not even go through senior day yesterday. Yeah. Okay. He was not out there at all. And we were kind of like, is Odd even out there? And no, he wasn't. And then, in the biggest series of the season, Jaden Knott's in there and we score a touchdown, And what's crazy is I do think if they handed that off to him, he probably goes for 15 or 20. But
Steve, there is no probably to it. He's at least 30 yards.
But he made us get the ball and throw it back to LSU at the same time too. Don't you feel like they told Mateer, like, you do not hand this ball off to him. Whatever you do not hand because when I watched that play, I'm like, what the hell is Jay Knott doing in there? Like, look, it's Jay Knott.
Yeah, and then RPO, and I'm like, God, Jay Knott's got about a 30-yard carry if he gives it to him there. So obviously he was told not to.
I will personally take credit for that touchdown because I did say multiple times before that, before the Burks touchdown, I was like, hey, if we could just run the touchdown play, that would be great. Run the touchdown play. Hey, Ben, circle the touchdown play. And so all it took was Ott getting in there and boom, touchdown play. So
everybody was keying on Jay Knott.
Yes, that was it. They're like, what the, I'm sure that was the joke around us is like, no one knew what to do. So they're like, this guy, they put in this guy, what's going on? Sleeper cell. But speaking of sleeper cells, Bauer Sharp did have one catch yesterday. It was
on a wide receiver pass
on the double pass, and
we didn't get the tight end pass, but still,
so there was a little trickeration involving Bauer Sharp. Nick Anderson did not travel. Where I said I'm right behind the opposing bench. Nussmeier did travel, but there was no Nick Anderson, and the students were pretty relentless in the OU students in their how do we put this? Disdain for Bauer Sharp pregame. So, friend of the pod, Bauer's grandma. Hopefully, you're not listening because they were pretty rough.
To Bauer's grandma, we don't have any ill fate to him. He doesn't play for us anymore, so we try not to hammer him too much. But I'm glad he's not with us anymore. Nothing against you. But you're a great grandma. Okay, you're a terrific grandma, and you're probably the sweetest thing ever. But
your grandson's not good.
Grandson is not good at football.
Yeah.
But hey, also too, what was Caden Helms doing on that little pass that could have gone about 45? At first, I thought it was Mateer, like with a bad throw. I don't really know what he did with his body. It was like he was trying to if he
I
just
think
went
he's
like
been
this,
hurt so much that, catching a ball in live action, he just expected bones to break or, knees to pop or something like that. And,
maybe they told him hey, that's going to be a 50. I mean, there was literally nobody in front of it.
No, it was a really good play. I mean, it really was. It was like a well-scripted, really good play. And it was like, man, and that was kind of the joke around us is, did everyone just have a heart attack that we ran such a well drawn up play? But again, I really think, and as bad as that is to say in a game we scored 17 points, I really thought that was one of Arbuckle's better days. I really did. Mm-hmm. Obviously X tried to give it a go. There wasn't anything going to come out of handing the ball to X yesterday. Appreciate him going out there. Do appreciate the fact he had some good blocks. And some blitz pickup and that sort of thing. Thought Blaylock looked a little better yesterday, but I thought we did a pretty good job of adjusting to what our personnel was giving us. And you can say, yeah, Goss, that's great. But two of the plays where we got lucky. And I just don't think the Burks touchdown at all had any luck to do with it. They sniffed out a blitz. They saw a blitz was coming. They called the right play. And, sometimes you call the right play and you score a touchdown. And, I know there's a lot of people out there who don't like Arbuckle, but you need to give him his flowers when he made the absolute right call on that Burks play. Now, I don't really think there's anything fancy on the Satanga play that looked like 4 verticals to me. And
coverage.
LSU just 2 guys went with the outside guy and left that seam open. But that's also one reason you run 4 verticals is you do make people communicate in that situation. So, and I thought it was really good right before those 2 plays that we got the ball to Canick and allowed him to it's very seldom was the first guy ever bring Canick down. And I thought we did a better job of getting him the football in space where he can go make some plays. Because I think with the ball in his hands, I do think he's one of our better players.
Oh, for sure. And we'll, like I said before, we're going to get healthy. Like this is one.
We're going to be healthier. We'll put it that way. I mean,
well, and also too, get some offensive linemen back. I think 3 weeks to get better is much needed for Gentry Williams, for our Mason Thomas, who let me just add, these are 2 of our best defensive players, and that's what our defense looks like. So,
yeah, and here's the deal, and I don't mean this in an anti-R. Mason Thomas take at all, but this is a guy who needs to come play in 3 weeks. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you were not 100% out 2 weeks ago and, you're getting to this, and this, we're paying you a lot of money. Okay. He's our highest paid player. He gets paid more money than Mateer does.
Yeah.
Okay. And this isn't an R. Mason Thomas ripping thing, but he owes it to us to go out there and we need him. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, this is the big leagues now. We're in the playoff. It's lose or go, it's lose and go home. And whoever we play, whether it's Notre Dame or Oregon or Texas Tech or BYU or Alabama, whoever it is, those are all beatable teams.
Yeah. But
we need all of our guys there. And I think it's important that we get him back. I think it's important our running backs get healthier so we don't have to throw Jaden Ott out there. And once again, Taylor Tatum's not going to play, guys. Quit talking about it. Who freaking cares? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, but it just 3 weeks to get as healthy as we can get, as much needed. And that was one of the things where it's just like survive. And going back to our Mason deal, one thing I will say about him is if our defense, if he didn't believe what he saw of our defense, he's got eyes. He can say, do I want to rush back and possibly injure myself for a playoff game?
Yeah.
Or do I let this defense keep doing what they're doing? Because the defense, that's what's so scary is if you look at it, the 3 games that he's been out, was it 3 games or 2 games?
3. He hasn't played.
Yeah,
here's the deal, Jeremy. Of the Red November games, okay, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU. Our best defensive player, not because I don't mean that as a slight, played in one quarter.
Yeah.
1 quarter.
Yeah, I would say you could
They
say
made
they
a
really
huge
didn't play
play in that
Tennessee.
1 quarter. Play of the
Mhm.
season in that quarter. But he's played 1 quarter.
And that just shows you the makeup of this team, and that's why, like,
Hard to kill.
if this would have happened, the LSU game yesterday would have happened to the team last year, we probably get beat by 2 touchdowns. Kind of did, to be honest with you. You remember last year in the first half, we had a lead, and what happened? We couldn't hold it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So
I mean, okay, you think
they
about
know
the
how
little
to they
things
know how
that-
to win. So
Well, here's the deal. I mean, you talk about this, the little things that I haven't heard anybody talk about. You know who made probably the most important play of the game yesterday? And I haven't heard anybody talk about this. Tate Sandell saved the season again.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
If he doesn't go over there and make that tackle, I mean, it was just like, oh, bleep, he's gone.
Mhm.
Because I don't know who it was, Elijah Thomas and somebody take each other out at about the 15, 20-yard line. And he's going down that sideline. And I mean, if our junior captain in the short shorts over there doesn't go over there and throw all 5'7", 118 of himself at his feet and slow him down, we don't go make that tackle. We don't go make that play. And that's just winning plays. It's just what it is. It's winning plays. It's everybody being bought in enough to go and sacrifice for themselves. Okay.
Mhm.
And then that's what Sandell did. I mean, now that was into a heck of a win. So it kind of hung up there a little bit. And, he's used to kicking everything out of the end zone. And so we haven't had that many kickoff returns. And usually when people do make a return, we hit them before they get to the 20. We're usually happy when they do, but we had the bad luck of running into each other. But we still made the play. And that's the difference.
Yep.
Winners win.
All right. So let's go. Let's finish the pod up with what everybody in college football is talking about. And that is the Lane Kiffin drama, which it finally hit. And that's why I told Steve, I'm kind of glad we're going on a little bit later. Let all the little tidbits that keep flooding in. Kiffin seems to make Lincoln Riley's departure look somewhat
professional.
light. Yeah. But Steve, what do you think? I mean, I think both parties are a little bit to blame. I feel like if Ole Miss would have just kind of just stayed out of it and let him make a decision, but I also understand too, you've got a school to run and you've got a program to run, so you need to.
It's just unfortunate, Jeremy. Is just what it is. But there is no world in which that Ole Miss could let him stay and coach. There's just not. And I mean, if he was going to the NFL, then yeah, you let him stay and coach 100%. If he was going, maybe you could say if he's going to a team outside the conference and all that is a maybe, but I still think that's just a no. I mean, essentially, he just left you for somebody else. Now, Lane made that decision, and he did. And with every decision, there are consequences. And those are the consequences that you had. And some of the consequences go back to Ole Miss hiring Lane Kiffin. It's a great hire. It's a great hire. It's the best Ole Miss football's ever been, maybe ever will be. But when you go with Lane Kiffin, it's like dating the crazy hot girl. Okay, she's hot, but she's crazy. And in the end, that's not going to end up well at the end. And it's not. Where has it ended well with Lane? Where has it? Nowhere. It's not going to. And this is by far Lane's best season he's ever had. But at the same time, who do I put blame on? All parties. It's everybody's fault. But it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the players at Ole Miss. But also, Ole Miss is a team of, guns for hire. That's who they are. It's a mercenary football team. It just is. I mean, there's not a lot of guys on Ole Miss's team that were, recruits who, have the stories of talking about guys like what Jaron Kanek here is at Oklahoma, makes a position change, loves his place, stays for Brent, that sort of thing. Guys like Kip Lewis who just get better over time and suffer through all those things. And that's not what Ole Miss is. Ole Miss is a bunch of cats who, we've got Missouri's running back. We've got a D2 transfer quarterback. We've got these different receivers. This is who they are. They're a mercenary football team. And when you're a team of mercenaries, this is kind of what you get from that. This isn't a homegrown team. And Jeremy, why don't you make the point that you made in our text group? To me, this is just a microcosm of why we love Brent.
Yeah, that's why I said, this is why I wanted Brent to succeed, because we don't have to worry about these situations. Let's put Brent Venables in this situation where do you ever think that he would handle this as poorly as what Lane Kiffin did? I mean, no, Brent Venables and Lane
Kiffin used his
Kiffin.
dog's burner Twitter account to make. I mean, come on, man, just be mature. And that's why. I mean, here's the deal: I may be sitting here in Soonercast a year from now, and Lane Kiffin, coach of the #1 LSU, blah blah blah, they win the national championship. I don't think that cat's ever winning anything, guys.
I don't. I mean,
he's not serious, people. Yes, he can call plays, whatever, but dude, he's Sark with less morals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just
it's just kind of like we mentioned with Lincoln Riley. It's like I just don't ever see these guys winning national championships. I don't think they have now. This might be me wearing crimson colored glasses, but I could see Brent Venables winning a national championship. I really honestly could.
Just people like Brent Venables do.
Yeah, and because everything that he said that he's going to do to this program, he has done. He didn't say, I'm going to bring a unbelievable offense that throws the ball all over the place. The only thing he said is, I'm going to bring a punishing, suffocating defense. And we have that. Now, you know what Brent's job has been probably the last 2 years is just finding an offense that can complement this unbelievable defense. And he's made strides. I think that's what's so frustrating is he has made strides this year to where you look at it and it's like and this is a Lincoln Riley reference. We're close. We're getting close.
No, we are.
But also too, isn't it just kind of refreshing to know that Lincoln Riley hasn't made a playoff and we have? Yeah. I mean, and he's at the Mecca. I mean, the Mecca of college football stuff.
He might be at Penn State by the time we do our next test. He is the betting favorite for the Penn State job. But, to go back on the Lane thing, Jeremy, I mean, like, I'm just glad, and this is me, and you guys have made fun of me for, being old-fashioned as long as you guys have known me. But I don't want my coach's dog to have a Twitter account. Okay. No. I don't want to see my coach shirtless at a hot yoga place before a football game. I like it that Brent Venables is running stairs after press conferences. That's my kind of guy. Okay.
Yep.
I like my football team to be grimy. I like my football team to be tough, and having the toughest people. You guys know I'm I'm a reformed basketball coach. And I always tell people the most aggressive team is usually going to win in basketball. Who's ever more aggressive is going to win. So we want to be really, really aggressive. Well, in football, the toughest team usually goes ahead and wins. And we got a guy in Brent Venables who is tough, who wants his team to be tough. And, man, I'm just ready to see this team play again here in 3 weeks.
Yeah. It's the only reason I'm glad we're in the playoffs. I want it to be a home game just because it brings in money and revenue to our school, and that's the advantage to it. But I could care less if they come out and we're on the road
anyway. And
I'll be honest with you, we probably get a better draw if we're on the road.
Paid for, I put down my down payment for playoff tickets. This was last week, so I hope it's at home. But at the same time, if it's not, hey, that's fine too.
It is what it is, and I mean, I've said this probably for the last since when we beat Alabama. I said, just make it to the tournament. I mean, it's kind of like college basketball. Anything can happen if you just make it there, but can't do anything if you're not in there. So, and to me, this is
like to send your Soonercast duo to any road playoff games, whether first round, second round, third round, or championships. Yeah. Jeremy and I are open to.
Yes, you have got us to the SEC media days. Yes. Now it's time to get us to the playoffs.
Yeah. So if you want to send us money or anything else, remember, you can always reach us at Soonercast@gmail.com.
Hey guys, also too, man, it's been pretty awesome. Like we've getting our views up to like even the ones that are just like over 200 views. I feel good about them. I mean, it's we're getting some traction out of the YouTube channel. So keep watching, keep subscribing, get our subscribing numbers. I'd love to be to 200. Then we'd only be 300 away from retirement. So
Well, why don't you look down right now and see if that buzzer is not on? Go ahead and make that change at this time.
Golly, and now please resubscribe. I know you just unsubscribed after that.
Hey, and guys, about future stuff. See this right here? This is research for why Goss thinks the stadium renovations are stupid. Okay, so we've got that to look forward to. We've got stadium reno talks. We've got playoff talk. We've got all that stuff coming. So can't wait.
Hey.
Portal's opening soon. You guys subscribe.
Also too, before we jump off here, recruiting class just keeps isn't it amazing when you win what happens? I mean, now we're getting offensive guys, wide receivers, we're getting some running backs. It's just it looks good right now. So I'm excited. Hey, and I'll say before we get off here, follow us on Apple and Spotify. We'll talk a little basketball on Wednesday. Got a big win against Marquette. Okay, so hey, I'm excited. We're losing in the non-conference.
Well, we did talk a little bit about the 4-game stretch basketball had, and Jeremy and I both kind of agree we need to win at least 3 out of 4. Marquette may be the worst team we play of those 4. To find a way to win there, I'm glad that they went to the Porter Moser offense on the last possession. Marquette did and took a terrible shot. We'll take it. But yeah, Sooners win, never a bad thing.
Yeah. All right, guys. Remember, subscribe to us YouTube, follow us on Apple and Spotify, and Goss, where can they get us on email?
Soonercast@gmail.com. We love comments as well. Have a great week, everybody. Boomer
Sooner.